I discovered my husband having sex with my close friend on one of our at-home security cameras. This past month I, 24-year-old female, discovered that my husband, 24-year-old male, had been cheating on me, and it was way worse than I could have ever imagined possible. My husband and I started dating 8 years ago when we were in high school. After high school we moved in together, went to university and got a cat together. We got along well, and I would always tell people that it was very easy to live with him. In August of 2021, he proposed to me, and in August of 2023 we got married. After we got married, we were financially stable enough to purchase our own place. So we bought a condo together in spring of 2024. However, this past month, July, I discovered my husband having sex with my close friend on one of our at-home security cameras. I confronted both of them. My friend, female, 23 years old per, known her since 2018, denied the cheating allegation, so I hung up on her. Then I called my husband, and my husband came forward and revealed he had been cheating on me with my friend since July of 2023. That was 1 month before we got married. He revealed to me that they would regularly have sex with her, and they would send nudes/sext. Some of the times they had sex, I was in the house. The exact footage I saw on my security camera was from the day prior. I was just in the shower. My husband was ashamed and in tears. He wanted to stay with me, said he found me more attractive and loved me. But I knew I wouldn't be able to live with this. A week later I discovered more information. He was still lying to me. He had been cheating on me with this friend since June of 2021. Yep, that is right. 2 months before he proposed to me was when he started cheating on me. He had been cheating on me for over 3 years. Not only that, he also had paid for sex workers and online porn. Additionally, I discovered that he had told my friend that he loved her. Not because he did, but because he wanted more sex from her. Then I discovered that my friend had been secretly talking behind my back for about 3 years, saying that my husband deserved better than me. Completely awful. Cannot believe this is my life. There is more information to the story, but I figure that covers the main parts of it. A question you might be wondering is, were there signs he was cheating on you? Not really, though I will say he is very good at manipulation. I get jealous easily, however I'd never seen him flirt with anyone other than me, so if they hung out I would get worried and ask if they did anything together. He always said they sat like a meter apart. I didn't mind him hanging out alone with her because they would go rock climbing and send me pictures. I am bisexual and have lots of friends who are girls and guys, so I didn't want to deter him from spending time with her. Then in July 2023, 1 month before the wedding, I discovered a Snapchat account that shared his cell number and questioned him about it many times. He denied it was his and said he had no idea how it got there. He sent me a news article about how people's phone numbers were being taken and stolen. He also accused me of trying to start fights with him because I have ADHD and must love fighting. This incident was the biggest red flag and I wished I had dug more. However, I just trusted him. He genuinely always acted head over heels for me. I discovered now that that was his account and he used it to message her. Other than that, there were no signs. Most of the time she came over, I would invite her. So why would I be suspicious if I planned it? They didn't seem flirty, they didn't sit close together, and he would complain about her with me. Both he and I often tried to help her with her messy life situation, but she never followed through with any of our advice, so we'd complain about that often. So maybe I trusted him too much. But I could have never expected that it could be this bad. Before July of 2023, when I found the Snapchat account, there were no signs at all. 0. Conclusion. I know that my ex-friend and ex-husband struggle a lot with mental health issues. Although I am sure I have not been a perfect person either, I have supported both of them by helping in any way I can, driving them places, paying for their food, offering kind words, helping them book appointments, cleaning their living spaces, etc. I have done more than enough to show kindness towards them. I cannot believe both of them could backstab me like that. Update 1. I invited over my ex-girlfriend's affair partner after his wife caught them cheating the day before with Snapchat. I didn't know they were cheating. His wife tried to send me a text to tell me that they were cheating, but the affair partner knew that text was being sent. He called or texted my ex to tell her. It was early morning and I was still asleep or in the shower or something. She got into my phone and deleted the text before I saw it. That next day was when I was finally feeling good enough after a recent surgery to have people over. I asked my ex if I should invite some people over to watch football, and she was all about it. Her affair partner was one of the many people I sent a text to, and she knew it. He was the first one to show up and he brought some party drugs. I threw in some cash, and I sat between the two of them for probably 90 minutes before anyone else showed up, just hang out like when we do with a girlfriend and a friend. She had to know the walls were closing in because she was caught by someone who was obviously trying to tell me. I'm not making any excuses for the affair fog was so strong or the dopamine, or whatever. It was just a classless move on both of their behalves. Even in hindsight, they did not give any to me that this was happening. At least not that day did they give any hints in hindsight. There were other ways, again in hindsight, that I could have taken some clues. But I trusted her. I've been with her for almost 5 years. We were talking about getting married, and he had been married for 17 years. I found out 5 days later when a number I had never received a text from in the past texted me. I hate to tell you again, but they are still cheating on us. My first thought was, again, still. I work with words for a living, immediately knew what that was. I knew right away that she had tried to tell me before, and because the message was missing, I knew why immediately. That day really defined the character in her. I never imagined my relationship would culminate in such chaos and betrayal. The past 5 years had been built on trust, or so I believed. We shared dreams, ambitions, and talks about a future together, including marriage. But that single day, coupled with a series of events, revealed not only the cracks in the foundation of our relationship, but also the true character of the person I thought I knew. It began innocuously enough. I had recently undergone surgery and was finally starting to feel like myself again. The physical recovery was taxing, but mentally, I was eager to re-engage with friends and find normalcy. I woke up that morning refreshed and hopeful. I remember feeling a sense of optimism, thinking it might be a good day to invite some people over to watch football, share some laughs, and just enjoy being surrounded by the familiar. Little did I know, my decision to host a gathering would become a catalyst for unraveling a web of deceit. When I asked my girlfriend if she thought it was a good idea to invite people over, she was surprisingly enthusiastic. At the time, I attributed her excitement to wanting to cheer me up, as she had been by my side throughout my recovery. But now I realize it was something far less noble. She had an ulterior motive. I didn't suspect a thing and proceeded to invite some friends over. Among them was a guy I thought was just an acquaintance, her affair partner. I didn't know about their affair, and certainly not that his wife had already discovered it. The fact that his wife tried to warn me that very morning still haunts me. She had sent me a text, presumably spilling the truth about their betrayal. However, while I was either asleep or in the shower, my girlfriend intercepted the message. It was as if fate had given her one final opportunity to come clean and confess, but instead, she chose to double down on her deceit. She deleted the text without a shred of hesitation, ensuring I remained oblivious. When I finally emerged from my morning routine, I had no idea of the storm brewing behind the scenes. I went about my day, setting up for the gathering and feeling excited to reconnect with people. I assumed my girlfriend was just as excited, but her motives were far different from mine. She knew her affair partner was coming over, and rather than prevent what could have been an incredibly awkward situation for everyone involved, she allowed it to unfold. He was the first to arrive. Looking back, it makes perfect sense. He wanted to be there before anyone else showed up, likely so he could spend some one-on-one time with her. He even brought party drugs, which at the time seemed like a nice gesture. I threw in some cash, not realizing I was unwittingly funding a toxic reunion between my girlfriend and her secret lover. For the next 90 minutes, I sat between them, laughing and chatting like everything was normal. In hindsight, their comfort around each other should have been a red flag, but I didn't see it at the time. I trusted her. I had no reason not to. For 5 years, she had been my partner, my confidant, and my rock. I never doubted her intentions, nor did I question her loyalty. That trust blinded me to the subtle signs, the stolen glances, the private smirks, the way they seemed to gravitate toward each other even when others began to arrive. It wasn't until much later that I pieced it all together, realizing how brazen they had been to carry on their affair right under my nose. That night, as the party wound down, I felt content. It had been a good day, and I was grateful for the company. My girlfriend seemed unusually affectionate, which I interpreted as her being happy to see me enjoying myself again. But now I know it was guilt, a desperate attempt to mask her duplicity. 5 days later, the truth finally surfaced. It came in the form of a text message from an unfamiliar number. I hate to tell you again, but they are still cheating on us. My heart sank as I read those words. The phrase again and still stood out to me immediately. I'm a wordsmith by trade, and I instantly recognized their significance. This wasn't the first time this person had tried to warn me. The realization hit me like a freight train. I replayed the events of the past week in my mind, searching for the missing piece. That's when it dawned on me, the missing text from 5 days earlier. Her affair partner's wife had tried to tell me the truth before, but my girlfriend had deleted the message. The very person I trusted most had gone out of her way to keep me in the dark. It was an act of manipulation so calculated and cold that it shattered any illusions I had about her character. In the hours and days that followed, I confronted her. She denied it at first, as I expected she would. Her lies were rehearsed, but there was a tremor in her voice that betrayed her guilt. When I presented her with evidence, the text messages, the timeline, the undeniable connections, her facade crumbled. She broke down and admitted everything. Her confession was laced with excuses. She blamed the stress of our relationship, the allure of something new, the dopamine rush of sneaking around. But none of it mattered to me. There's no justification for betrayal. I ended things immediately. There was no room for negotiation or reconciliation. The damage was irreparable, and her actions revealed a side of her I could never unsee. The person I thought I loved was a stranger, a selfish, deceitful stranger who had not only betrayed me but had also disrespected the very foundation of our relationship. As I pieced my life back together, I reflected on the events leading up to that day. There were signs, subtle and not so subtle, that I had missed. Her increased secrecy, the way she always seemed to be on her phone but would quickly put it away when I entered the room. Her sudden disinterest in our future plans. All of it pointed to something being amiss. But I ignored those signs because I wanted to believe in her. I wanted to believe that the person I had built my life around was as committed to me as I was to her. The fallout was messy. Friends and family were shocked, some even choosing sides. Her affair partner's wife reached out to me again, offering her support and sharing her own painful journey of discovering the affair. We found solace in each other's stories, though the pain was still raw for both of us. In the end that day, when I unknowingly invited my girlfriend's affair partner into my home, became a turning point in my life. It was the day I learned the importance of trusting my instincts, paying attention to red flags, and valuing myself enough to walk away from people who don't respect me. It was a painful lesson, but one that ultimately made me stronger. The relationship may have ended in betrayal, but it also paved the way for a new beginning, one where I could rebuild my life, free from deceit and manipulation. And for that, I am grateful.